He laughs in my face and says, "No, that still cuts into my profits."
That's pathetic, man. Dude, when I was doing tournament money matches with Louisiana, I never left empty-handed.
And I remember saying, you're playing that deck, and the first words you ever said to me, "Yeah, I know, I'm a piece of Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Northside Ploud with Pop.1 Podcast. Here, my boy Alexander Valito.
Welcome back.
My boy Bryan Ha.
Hello.
Episode, we do it every time. We do it the exact. Me and Lucy watched every episode the other day to see how it's changed, and it hasn't. It's literally the same way, and I love it, dude, because I love you guys.
I love how he says hello. He doesn't like.
Yeah,
like,
it's just hello. Yeah, and it's good, dude.
It's two syllables.
Right. It's something that everybody's going to remember from us, and it's just one of those things to where we're getting close to episode 20.
Very close.
And we're on episode 18 today, guys. And it's been a journey so far. So many new things have happened. But and we're going to talk about we're in these next few episodes leading up to episode 20. Let's kind of go through the history of Pop.1 Podcast. Today we'll talk about some One Piece news. We'll talk about a little bit of hype with the scalping stuff. And we'll talk about some Riftbound Gundam and a little bit of the new Phantasmal Pains, the new Pokemon set. We're going to get into that just a little bit. But you guys ready for today's episode?
Let's do it.
Let's go.
Let's get it. All right, we are back here, episode 18. Feels good. We feel good. I feel great. And before we get into it, last week we asked you guys to check out the hype button. Mm-hmm. The hype button was, it's something new for creators and stuff. And we asked you guys, let's try to get to 300,000 hype points. We got over that. And we're actually like top 60 right now on the hype point leaderboard. And thank you guys so much, man. That was like such a small accomplishment, but something that really felt good because we had the community really lock in and set that goal for us. And I don't know what us being on this leaderboard does, if it does anything. It's just something new with YouTube. I like being early on things, and I think this is something that we should take advantage of. So thank you guys from the bottom of our hearts for all the comments, the likes, and the hype points. Let's see if we can do it again with this episode and get up to, 400,000 hype points.
Yeah,
we really got close. We're almost there on last week's episode.
Yeah.
So that's a cool thing. And before we get back into the show, let's talk about Dueling Guard, one of our long sponsors that we've had for a long time. They just dropped their bomb collection, new deck box binder, and playmat, with a sleek black design with I like when they do the hollows, like the hollow foil patterns and stuff. It's like a red orange. Oh man, it looks so good, and it's showing off the stuff for the new Chainsaw Man movie, which is anime's doing really good in the box office lately. So shout out Dueling Guard. You can go down below, click the link, and get 15% off of your order. And they're doing the Black Friday month, so everything's already cheap. And you can stack our discount on it and get stuff for cheap. Really great for Christmas. Go check them out, duelingguard.com.
Next, we want to shout out our other sponsors at Anchor Goods, designed by players for players. They have incredible leader cases to protect your leader, and they just came out with some new designs, the Emu and the Ace. Mm-hmm. They're insanely good looking, especially with the hype coming around with the new Ace and the Emu leaders. It seems that every time we get new meta-defining leaders, they're going to make that case for you. So if you want to go ahead and check them out, they're what, 25 or 34, 70? Is that?
Yeah, they got some deals on there. We have an affiliate link down below. You guys can click. It helps us out over here at Pop.1 Podcast. And we want more for Anchor Goods. We want more from Anchor Goods. So help us out by clicking that link. And that is another great holiday gift for your One Piece player. It's more of a One Piece thing. Dueling Guard being all trading cards, but shout out Anchor Good, shout out Dueling Guard, shout out our sponsors. They help us get where we are. But we are back at it. We're going crazy over here at Pop.1 Podcast. And guess what else is going crazy, guys? We have a new structure deck announcement for the One Piece card game. Can you guys take a guess on what the leader is?
Another Luffy.
It's another Luffy.
And then the
leader.
worst part is it is a Yellow
Yeah,
Luffy.
so
and Egghead too.
yeah, so it's Egghead, it's yellow, and it's Luffy.
What did Egghead ever y'all do there to y'all, huh?
Man, Vegapunk, man, I just have a sore just deal with Vegapunk, man. But it's not only Vegapunk now. You know, Bonnie just got the new leader.
Yeah.
And it's actually not that bad. I actually just built the deck up. Thanks, Brian, for hooking me up with some cards to get that going. But, you know, Vegapunk has always been like to me, like a sleeper, what do they call them? Archetype or whatever, or typing or whatever. And the more Egghead kind of gets support almost every set, but people just kind of don't realize it, you know? Like I feel like I see an Egghead card come out of almost every single set since they started coming out. And I don't know, man. One day they might be the ruler of the game. Who knows? But I don't. We haven't seen the effect of this leader yet. We haven't seen anything but the box art, but it is, in fact, a Luffy leader.
Something tells me that it's going to be incredibly good.
Yeah, I mean, Yellow is, dude, I've seen Yellow make people quit the game. And I've seen Luffy make people quit the game. It's a pretty diabolical combo right there. But, you know, it all depends on the effect. It all depends on what they give us and the support. So.
At least it's not purple, yellow. With,
Yeah,
with the no Gungam Giant excess, so that's always good. And
imagine a purple yellow Luffy, dude.
What if they come out with a Gum Gum Giant for Yellow? Because you know there's a real rise in popularity with 4K counters, so I'm sure they're gonna get some 4K.
I mean, they might get something, but like
Doesn't Yellow
already has a freaking zero cost. You're the one who should disappear.
Yeah.
Crazy event already. They don't need any more support. In terms of like this Egghead, I don't know if it's gonna do anything. Like it might, who knows? But the Stardecks have been kind of like, honestly, like the Stardecks have been kind of stale lately. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the Ace Newgate really wasn't super impressive,
But
but
it's-
it also was kind of late for us too, right?
The thing with structure decks, and this has happened a lot, sometimes like they'll come out and it'll take a while for them to just be cracked. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, example like Zoro Sanji. Yeah, I mean, it's not the best deck right now, but I mean, it's a lot better now than it was when it came out. You know, we were just buying those for the Mihawks. You know what I'm saying? And
it wasn't like the
Ivankov.
It wasn't like the Dofi structure deck. It came out on release. It was
that one.
Well, no, the Dofi ones, those were reprints. Those weren't really like real true structure decks. It was only like an old leader with 5 new cards, and then like the rest were just reprints. Like the structure decks that are more standalone and have new products inside of them, like the SC21 EX one, the Ace Newgate, those had all new cards. And what else? I guess this Luffy one's gonna be one, and then the next one that they announced too. This was a while ago they announced it, but the red green Luffy Ace is gonna be just another.
Oh yeah, that they.
Do we know if they're going to do actual packs in the structure deck, or if they're going?
It's probably gonna be like another one of those little EX packs with like the
maybe
three
they
cards.
don't do that with every structure deck, but they have been doing them lately.
Yeah.
I would like for them to do that because it guarantee. I think Bandai's doing a good move by doing that because it does guarantee that the structure decks are going to move from the shelf. You know.
Yeah.
If you look at any other card game, you look at Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, you look at structure decks, they tend to sit on the shelf for a long time, and then you see them in bargain bins or like, you know what I mean, like just discounted.
Correct me
you
if
know.
I'm wrong, but isn't it where some of these structure decks had these packs? It kind of almost made them scalped.
Well, okay, so the structure decks that you're thinking of, which was last year's like ST, like I don't know, like 12 through or not 12. Like 14
It
through
was the Newgate, Katakuri, Smoker.
Yeah.
Actually, I got them all over here. Purple Luffy, Blue Dofi, like
those are all reprinted decks, and basically what it is in Japan is that Japan has those on sale where it's just like a little brick of it, you know, and they are very easy to get. They're meant to like for new players, you know. In America, we don't have like that price range. Like that's not a budget option for us. Like over there in Japan, they sell them for like $5. We don't have that budget option over here in America, so they incorporate all those structure decks with a pack. So in the Dofi one, we got the PRBO1, and then in the new one that came out with the what was it, Yamato and Bonnie and the 4 Emperors, it had what, OP11 or was it OP10?
Might have been OP10.
Yeah,
I don't remember. I didn't buy any of those, so I don't really remember.
I don't really remember either. But it had those packs inside of it just to like boost up the sale, the price, and make the price like worth it. Because really, otherwise, if you had just packed the starter deck, you would have gotten a starter deck that was full of reprints and 5 new cards, and that's really not worth it. You know?
I think putting the pack in's a good deal, and honestly, seeing like when they put PRB in the packs, that was
crazy.
like, it was like 2 to 3 weeks before the set came out. So yes, the scalping for these structure decks were at an all-time high.
Yeah,
but they put other packs in the other ones, and they were still like sitting there. They were moving though, because that was kind of the only way to get packs at that time, because everything was selling out. So. And it's a if you know type of thing. It does kind of move the actual scalpers away that don't know about the game at all, and they just pass up, because it's like a rule in the scalper world. Like, we just pass up on the structure decks. You know what I mean? There's no reason in buying something like this because it just sits, and that's what happened with that. So like, if you were a player and you knew, hey, these have packs in them, let's pick them up, blah blah blah. But I think it's a good idea. I do like that they put like the alt art type of packs with the monocolor characters or whatever. The Ace Newgate had like the ones where they were blue or whatever. You could pull like the alt Isho. What was another one you might want to pull? Ezo, sorry. And then
Ezo, Ace, Newgate, Odin.
Yeah, the Odin, and the leader, stuff like that. But they did that with Black Yellow Luffy, or the Three Brothers structure deck. So, it's a cool thing that they do, and I think they should keep doing that. Now, will this one-shot structure deck have that? Maybe, maybe not. It's they pick and choose when they want to do things like that. So, who knows? In other news, so we've all been talking about this Roger promo.
Yeah.
This has been a big key for a few decks to kind of resurface back into the meta. And it's a crazy card. It's a card that Japan's been using for a while now. We see the results of it. It's a good card, And we were really hyped about getting it because it was supposed to be in this year's Volume 2 of the promotional card set. And we were supposed to get it in December. And I know that there was a few online tournaments. I'm in a lot of Discords for One Piece card game, like remote tournaments and stuff like that. And they were already bringing announcements out saying, hey, this event we have going on in December, you cannot use the Roger promo. I know it's out, but it's not legal and blah, blah, blah. So a lot of people were really angry about that because they were planning on playing Up Luffy or Roger or any other deck that could utilize the card. Well, Bandai just straight up said, we're not going to release it this year. You guys are going to get it in 2026 for Volume 1 promotional pack. So we don't know what the promotional packs are going to be.
It was a store tournament pack, I thought they said. They changed it from a promotion pack to a store tournament pack.
You're right. They did. I'm looking at it right now. Sorry about that. That was a timer. Okay. Shout out YouTube. Anyways,
should he start his timer?
Yeah, go ahead and start a timer. I think it was around like 12 minutes.
Oh, you just muted it?
Yeah, I just
okay. Then we're fine. We're fine. Go ahead.
Well, I still want to have one, so we can kind of see where we're at.
Okay, let's go.
All right, continue. You are right. That is, I'm looking at it now. That is going to be changed to a store tournament 2026 Volume 1. So we were actually right that we will be getting these.
They didn't really explain it, like what it's going to be though, and there's still no winner variant of it out yet.
Store tournament 2026. That's the packs that we get at locals, correct?
I think so, but correct us if we were wrong in the comments.
Right.
Last time we got in trouble for saying that. I thought they were, and then it turns out they weren't. And there were participation
but
packs.
Now it turns like they are.
Yeah, I hope it is. I pray to God it is. I want that Roger promo.
Me too, and I think it'll be an easier way for everybody to get it. Because a lot of people are like, "Oh man, this is going to be $100 plus card because it is coming from these event packs."
Yeah.
And it was going to be rough trying to get that card. You either had to go play or you had to pay that premium, and you also had to pull it.
Don't you need 4?
Yeah, you need 4.
Yeah, you got to run 4.
What disappointed me though was that not only was that Roger promo coming in that store tournament pack, but is also every McDonald's promo too that Japan was supposed to get that they never got. They never did the McDonald's promo because of the Pokemon Pikachu thing that happened.
Yeah,
and it makes me sad because I guess we're never gonna get that McDonald's promo Happy Meal for One Piece Happy Meal for
to be honest, man, I'm kind of glad. I'm tired of the McDonald's Pokemon card thing.
I want it. I love
it's
that.
So annoying. It's cool. I would like to have that, but I'm sure Bandai's going to figure out a way to get it to us. It'll probably be at a pre-release in the pack that we get.
No, it's the same pack as the Roger.
Oh, so we are gonna get
Yeah.
the. Oh, so it's just not gonna be at McDonald's. Good.
Yeah, it's just not gonna be in McDonald's, which is like I was saying, like they confirmed that we're not gonna get the McDonald's promo. Which I
It
mean,
would be cool to have a little McDonald's logo on your One Piece card, though.
I don't. Yeah,
Would it though?
Nah, I think that would be cool.
dude, imagine the golden arches right there. Stamped
Imagine
right there.
the new Roger card has a big McDonald's
Yeah.
logo on
I'm
it.
loving
Not-
it.
I do not need to go to McDonald's.
They call
every
it
day.
Big Mac Roger. Dude, imagine that would be the nickname for the card. We play Big Mac, and then
Dude, I'm for
yeah.
it, man. I would have been so for it, but yeah, no. I was really hyped on playing Up Luffy too because that deck was what I picked for OP12 format. Ran with it, loved it. I thought it was probably BDIF to be completely honest. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had no bad matchups.
Up Luffy is crazy. Crazy deck.
Does not need to come back.
Does need to come back because these 3 triangle decks are lame as sometimes.
You think it's lame? You're
No,
having fun.
Okay. Excuse me. I do enjoy myself in this triangle format, and I just feel bad because like someone in our Discord was like, maybe we should do a non-meta tournament. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's all the week 1 just passed and people are already complaining about it. I was
Yeah.
like, it's kind of
Week
lame.
One.
I
Yeah.
mean, we talked about this though. We knew this was going to happen. It is going to be rough for the casuals. I mean, it's rough for us. I mean,
It is
and
rough.
we like to compete in this.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, a lot of people don't have that mindset like I'm having right now. It's like I'm getting my ass kicked, but I'm going home. I'm hopping on some. Me and Josh sit back. We sat at locals for about 45 minutes to an hour, just going over the mirror and stuff. And I learned a lot in that few minutes. But a lot of people don't have the lock in enough to soak in the plays,
I
and
I got my session tomorrow night. Normally we go to New Orleans and I test with Michael Bowie.
yeah.
And I just get my butt handed to me 4, 5, 6 hours. But then I feel like I level up every time I have
Yeah.
that experience with him.
I feel like this has been a big learning curve for me because I haven't had this kind of what was it? I haven't really experienced this kind of meta in a minute. Because like when I came into the game, I was already playing off meta, so like my opinion didn't matter. During Sakazuki format and RP Law format, I was over there just playing green Uta and green Bonnie, so I had no say in anything at all.
Right.
But with this one, like I am actually learning a lot, and I'm not doing that great at locals. I've gone home and cried every single weekend, and what was it? It's been a rough adjustment for me, but I feel like I'll get the hang of it. And like
fair.
One Piece is also just a very fair game that like if one person is constantly dominating your locals every single week, then either you're doing something wrong or that guy is just really talented. That person is really talented. The fact that I'm coming to our locals and I'm going like X1, X2 like every single week, like it makes me glad to know that there is like I'm not at my ceiling.
Yeah.
I can go further beyond.
That's good, man.
So
And-
I'm excited for it.
And we're all working with each other too. You know, we're bouncing back. It feels like old One Piece days when we were really like this. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like the last like maybe all of last year we were just kind of sitting back
Skating.
since Dofi format. We just haven't really been like talking a lot of theory, talking a lot of lines, talking about flex spots, all this stuff like that we do now. It feels like our chat's kind of getting back into like a
More focus.
yeah, more focused on the meta type deal and really getting people to speak up about how they feel
Makes
about
me
it.
wish I was going to Miami next weekend. But
Yeah, Murphy's going out there.
he is.
And that's going to be exciting. I know a few of our friends are going to be out there too. A lot of people are asking if we're going to be out there. Sorry, guys, we're not going to be in Miami. But we do have a lot of store championship treasure cups coming up. We have 2 next weekend.
Mm-hmm.
3.
We have 2. Well, yeah. I mean, down here we have 2. One Nerd's Nest and Pandas.
When is board games?
Thanksgiving, or the day after Thanksgiving weekend, like the
Okay.
29th.
So we have a few coming up these next few weekends. And speaking of, there was a bunch of treasure cups today. I know
Yep.
a lot of emu. A lot of emu.
So much emu.
Everybody's loving emu. But the thing about emu is anybody can get it because it's so cheap. And the reason it's so cheap is, dude, have y'all been seeing the flood of OP13, the print run of OP13? It is getting kind of nuts, man. I know down here at our Target, they started the 2 per person limit, and when I go into Target now, there's like a huge wall
Yeah.
of these red packs.
I love it.
I love that it felt like they definitely overstocked all the targets, right?
I wish they would
I don't
do
think
it every
it's
single time.
overstocked. I just think like One Piece
I've
is like,
seen plenty of restocks, but I've never seen a restock like this for
I
Target.
mean, yeah, you're seeing like 3 to 4 cases per store of OP13 blister packs. And that's a lot, man. You usually only see like 1, maybe 2, and then they never stock it again. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, or they'll stock it like once or twice. With this, I feel like we saw a lot this week. I feel like when the restock comes again next week, it'll be the same thing. I feel like they printed so much of this because it is that anniversary set. We saw a mass print run of OP05, a huge run of OP05, and constant reprints. We saw a big reprint of 09.
But it wasn't as
It wasn't as big.
It
with
wasn't as
09.
big.
Yeah, 09, I thought, okay, we're kind of healing because I'm not a fan of them printing just super buku amounts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Print enough for everybody to get some, and collectors and blah blah blah. Kind of like OP5, OP9, OP13. It's a lot, dude. It's a lot.
I don't mind it. I mean, there's like so many good hits in this set.
Yeah.
I will admit, like all the commons and stuff are like really doo.
Yeah,
But when I was like opening my packs, I'm like, wow, like there's not a single comment here that I'm like excited to look at.
Well, and honestly, the reason that people are seeing a lot is the new target, the 2 per person limit.
Yeah.
And I know our target is they're kind of not strict, but they're watching, they're making sure, because I mean, come on, I'm going in there, I get 2, I go through checkout, I go grab 2, I go through self checkout, and I kind of want to go for the next 2, but I'm like, all right, I'm doing too much, you know what I mean? I don't want it. I don't want to feel like a little kid, somebody yelling at me for doing something. So I'll go back to my car, I'll open the packs, I'll go get something to eat, and then I'll go back in and do it again. So I'll end up with like 8 to 10 packs doing that. But, Walmart actually started the limiting as well, and they're doing 5 per person. But I'm going to tell you now, the Walmart employees do not care. They legit don't care.
Yeah.
Now, they can't ring up 5, but I've heard stories of people bringing up the whole thing, and then the cashier's just like, we'll just do different transactions.
I caught a MJ Holden's restock the other day at a Walmart, and I saw the normal group of scalpers, but I actually saw more this time than usual because of the 5-person rule. I want to say that these guys brought people with them to buy for them. And what I saw was they cleared the Pokemon because they did. They had a huge restock on Pokemon. They cleared it all out. They went and bought it. But what I noticed was they did their 5, paid, and then at the same self checkout they did again and paid again. And the employees, bless them. You got some folks who don't know anything, obviously, about card games working the self checkout registers. They're like, "What's going on?" They're like, they don't care.
I'm wondering, wondering if because obviously they're being briefed or whatever, and the management's saying, "Hey, this is a new rule that we're implementing."
But think about it: if you're an employee working a self checkout area, are you really going to concern yourself with telling someone who could potentially argue with you?
Yeah, it's going to start an argument.
Transactions. It's not worth the hassle, especially when you just
the funniest argument to me, I've seen scalpers say this all the time. They're like, "Oh, if I go back there and put all the milk in my cart, you're gonna have a problem with me buying all that," like stuff like that. And I'm just like, it's not the same thing, dude. You're not about to go put all the milk on eBay and sell it for 3 times the price. It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
There was a big drop this weekend with Pokemon. And I'm glad that they implemented a lot of it before the Pokemon drop, because Phantasmal Flames, the new Charizard set, dropped. And, yeah, there's scalpers out there, man. But I think these companies, especially during the holidays, they tend to really mass print and make sure that a lot of people get stuff. So OP13 super printed, Phantasmal Flames super printed, Riftbound.
No Riftbound. I haven't seen a restock of Riftbound, and I have not seen a Gundam restock in a minute.
Okay.
And I'm getting kind of a little scared. I'm not gonna lie.
See, okay, I wonder if it's like a area thing, because the Walmart by my work, I have so much Riftbound. I have like all these different structure decks.
Well, I gotta go by your Walmart then, because I haven't seen squat.
It will be different. I mean, in your big cities, your Houston, your Atlantas, your LAs, your cities like that. Yes, everything's gonna be sold out. In your mid-sized cities, your Slidell's, your Biloxi's, your stuff like that, you might catch some, you might not. There's collectors here. And in the lower cities where there's just a country Walmart in the middle of nowhere, you might find packs from 2 years ago over there. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's one of those things. It does depend on your situation.
Results may vary.
Results may vary, man. So just be on the lookout and just get what you can get. You know, if you play a game and you like it or you want to try one, you know, you might have to go get in those lines. But luckily, these companies are starting to give these limits. But, you know, the 2 per person, to me personally, is just kind of doing too much.
Yeah, I think you had a great idea where you do 5 blisters and maybe like 1 ETB.
Yeah, like if
Thank
it's in
you.
a bigger box, just do 1 per person on that one. If it's packs, you know, just do 5 per person, you know, because like if I can buy 2 blister packs, but I can also buy 2 ETBs, well, I'm still walking out the store with 20 plus packs. So it's just, it's not like really, I mean, but and that goes back to the employees. It's not their job. Well, I guess now it is, but you know, it's kind of wild that they have to pay attention to something that they don't care about.
don't.
You know what I mean?
Well, some employees do because what
Well,
I've
some
seen,
do,
what I've
yeah.
seen some employees do is they'll put like boxes behind the counter for
Oh,
themselves,
yeah.
and we
Oh,
we
yeah.
know what they're
Yeah,
doing.
yeah, for sure, man. All right, well, all right, yeah, that's that. Good old card news. All right, we're gonna go take a little break real quick, and we're kind of dive into some of the lore of the Pop.1 podcast.
Let's do it.
All
right.
See you guys in a minute.
We interrupt this episode to talk about our sponsor, Anchor Goods. Protect your leader in style with our Anchor Goods leader loaders. They're sized to fit, tournament legal, and fit perfectly in your deck box. All engineered by players for players. Thank you, Anchor Goods, for sponsoring the Pop.1 podcast. Click the link below and get yours today. How hard is that?
Yo, what's going on, everybody? We're going to interrupt this episode and tell you about our sponsors. Yes, our sponsors over at Dueling Guard. These guys definitely have everything you need for your TCG journey. Go ahead and head on down to duelingguard.com. Check out their deck boxes, their playmats, their binders, their anime art cards. They have it all, and I swear I love this stuff. I back it all the way. I personally use binders and deck boxes from Dueling Guards for all of my TCG play. When I'm going to bigger tournaments, or even if I'm going to smaller tournaments, they have everything I need to be comfortable in my competitive scene. I love the size of their deck boxes. They fit perfectly in my book bag without any type of clutter. You know what I mean? When you have them big deck boxes and it's just so cluttery in your book bag, it makes your book bag kind of get deformed after a little while. These are great for that because they're a nice slim fit. They also have so many different sizes of deck boxes. So if you don't like the size of one of their deck boxes, I'm sure they'll have something to fit your certain criteria whenever you're going to these big events. Their playmats are super high quality. I really enjoy playing on them, and their binders are peak. They're side loading, they zip up, they're just really good binders all in all, and they fit perfectly in your book bag. They also have different accessories like playmat holders and different bags that you can take out. I'm telling you now, you guys are definitely going to want to support Dueling Guard, man. They are very awesome in what they do. So go to duelingguard.com, use code POP1 at checkout. You guys get a discount. It helps us out a lot. We really enjoy having Dueling Guard around, and we thank them so much for what they do for the community and for Pop.1 podcast. All right, let's get back to the show. Okay, welcome back to Pop.1 podcast, man.
The Pop.1 podcast.
That's been a name for a little while, man, and there's been some history with that name, and it's very dear to my heart, man. I love the name Pop.1 podcast, and I put countless hours into this name. And the history of it is some of my favorite parts of Pop.1 podcast. And we get a lot of people that have seen us recently saying, oh, these dudes have been around. You know, you can go down the channel, you can see stuff from all the way in like
all the way back.
2021. Like, you know what I mean?
What's funny is the podcast part.
Yeah,
of
we
Pop.1 podcast.
essentially never did a podcast.
Never. You had a live stream of Twitch with your old partner.
Yes, so it started off as a Twitch stream, rip and ship type of thing.
You
and
scalper.
it wasn't like the thing about Pop.1 podcast at the beginning. Yes, it was like selling packs over market, blah, 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 and everything. But then, you know, you guys have heard me talk about how I've gotten really into community and stuff. And I switched it up and I made things to where it was like, yes, we got to get paid to continue to do this. But I gave a lot out to the community worth their money. And we can go deep into that a whole nother day and really go deep into the old partnership and the shop that ended up getting open and everything another day. But today, I kind of want to talk about me and Alex. I want to talk about how we came together. Bryan has been around us just for a little bit now. It's going on about 2 years. Being in the same circle and stuff. We've known each other online and stuff like that. But me and Alex have a history, dude. We've been around each other for going on 5 years now.
I know a little bit of Alex too. I played Yu-Gi-Oh! Them back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and a lot of people know Alex from Yu-Gi-Oh! So I remember the night me and Alex first met each other.
Me too.
We were at a locals at the shop I'm talking about. It was called Fat Cat Collectibles, and we were over here in D'Iberville. And we had some of the most fire locals that the coast has seen in a long time.
Easily 25 to 30 every single week.
Yes, because this was coming right after the coronavirus pandemic. And the locals that was here was so spread out during COVID that there wasn't a locals. There wasn't anybody playing Yu-Gi-Oh! It was these guys were going to this dude's house to play. You were staying over in your area in Louisiana.
Yeah, so I live in New Orleans, but I worked at the time in Biloxi.
Yeah, and a lot of people were coming to y'all's locals in y'all's area to play, but not really. You had a few people, and nobody was essentially playing down here.
We had a good bit in that area, actually.
Yeah. And there was, and we'll go to the shop that I'm talking about, but I remember the night you came to the locals for the first time, and me and you actually got paired up. And I had just started playing Yu-Gi-Oh! I think I was playing Cyber Dragon, Structure Deck, Cyber Dark Engine, and all that stuff in it. And you were playing Eldritch. Yeah. And I remember saying, you're playing that deck. And the first words you ever said to me, yeah, I know, I'm a piece of shit. And I'll never forget that. And I'm like, damn, this dude just, I don't even know you. Like, talking to me like that. And it was like, I actually remember laughing my ass off when you said that. And I was like, this guy's pretty cool. Still was a little, it was a little weird talking to you sometimes because I was so new to all this stuff and I was new to everybody. But the way you said that to me, I was like, all right, me and this dude's going to get along. This is funny. And then, I really we didn't see each other for a minute after that because there was another shop in this area that everybody was going to after Fat Cats closed. Mm-hmm. Well, Fat Cats had just closed, and me and the owner of the shop had literally just broke ties all together. We were the ones doing the streams together and everything, but I thought that I needed him to continue this. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Well, in the meantime of us being at Fat Cats and running locals and stuff, I met my boy Devin Schlink. He had just come back from New York. He was stationed out there. He's military. And me and him got really close. He was just a cool dude. Kind of we were in the same hobbies and stuff. It wasn't always about cards. We could go hang out outside of the card shop and hit casinos, have a few beers, be friends. And, we had the Discord going that we still have to this day. And it was one of our stream nights. And this was the week after I cut ties and the shop had closed down. So it was a very depressing week. I was like, damn, am I not going to get to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Anymore? Is the stream, am I going to lose all these people that, are they just going to know me from now on from the stream? Am I ever going to see these people again? Because it was like 4 months of us seeing each other every week, really enjoying our time and competing in Yu-Gi-Oh! And, Devin had called me and said, hey, what are you doing tonight? I said, I'm supposed to stream, but, I don't think I am tonight. I think I'm going to, just hang out. He could tell. He was like, well, and Lucy knew that I was very down bad about the situation too. And he was like, why don't you come to me to this locals over in, and I was like, who's all going out there? He's like, everybody. And I hadn't seen the crew, the few people that I've been hanging out with in about, 2-3 weeks. So I was like, yeah, why not? I don't feel like streaming tonight. Everybody's going to go play Yu-Gi-Oh! I'll go play Yu-Gi-Oh! And I show up to this shop it's about a 35-minute drive away from me or whatever. And it's actually pretty decent in there. And all the people that we've been playing Yu-Gi-Oh! With are just around getting ready to start a tournament up. And I said, yo, we're back.
We're back.
We're back. I had Alex there.
I think I
Devin
won that night too, right?
no, I almost won. Joseph won.
Oh, yeah,
This is
yeah.
funny because I brought my Dolce, and I legit the only round I lost was because my opponent and the players in that area weren't always the best, and it was kind of like a very lenient locals and stuff. But like my opponent was like on the phone with his girl like for like half the round.
I know
dude.
exactly who you're
and
talking about.
and I was like, dude, come on. And we ended up having to draw because of that. And like I was in their house, so I wasn't there to like start issues. I was like, whatever, man, I'll take the draw. But I ended up like going undefeated the rest of the day, but I got second because I had a draw and Joseph was undefeated. Anyways, going back to it, yeah, so we kept going to the shop.
Yep.
And they had two owners at the time, and one of the owners was talking to me about how, hey, we want to hold like a big cash tournament here, but you know, we're OTS, we're Konami affiliated, we run sanctioned events through Konami. They would literally take that away from us if they found out we were holding any type of like cash event or like cash tournament or anything like that. And I said, well, why don't you just do it, but do it under my brand? And they're like, oh, what's your brand or whatever? And I introduced them to Pop.1 podcast. We do the stream. We were doing really good and stuff. We had a YouTube channel doing deck profiles and everything like that. And they were like, yeah, if you want to host it, let's do it. So me going into it and really getting closer with this shop and everything, we ran a successful $1,000 cash prize tournament. And before we did that, I had accumulated a few of the best duelists that I thought around were, which included Devin, Alex, Michael Murphy, Jordan Westrick, and who else did we have?
That was it.
It was just you four.
So there was just a core four. I remember the night. So that was the night I actually did win a locals. You weren't there that night. I was there. I won. They had a ping pong table in this store, right? So me and Devin, we stayed there late because, believe it or not, I'm actually really good at ping pong. And Devin, he's just this naturally gifted athlete. So I was the only person in the shop that could give him a run for his money. So we're literally just playing ping pong for like an hour and a half. And at the end of the night, he was talking to me about, I was like, hey, I'm going to do a group message with you, Michael, and Jordan later. We're starting a team. And this was at the peak of when teens were super popular. Right?
Oh, yeah.
Everyone wanted to wear a jersey. All these different shops were making teams. I remember in the South Mississippi, Louisiana area, there were probably 6, 7, 8 teams.
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating.
Well, we met all of them at our big cash tournament.
We met all of them at our big cash tournament, which happened very shortly after forming the team.
Yeah, it was about I think they gave me a month to prep for the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
In that time, I had bought us jerseys. I had made sure we were all good in our decks. I invested a lot of money into the team and really wanted to make something cool because I was like, okay, this is my thought process on a team. Good players, they travel, and they have my logo on their back and on the front. So if they're doing great, then, you know, on that feature match or blah, 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 whatever, they're going to see that Pop.1 podcast, search us up. Who are these guys? And then that was my whole thought process on it. And dude, it worked. It actually worked.
It did. Locally.
Yeah, locally and neighboring cities and states and stuff too. But
People
majority
knew who we were all the Gulf Coast, like all the way from South Louisiana all the way to probably Mobile, I'd say.
Yeah, and a lot of that was you and Devin and Michael and Jay really going hard, man.
Yeah.
Like really just going to every regional, topping every regional. Topping every event that you guys pretty much played in that era. And we held this cash tournament, and it was like the next chapter of, or like a next arc of an anime. Like the first arc was the Fat Cats arc, and then going into the other shop, and then creating a new arc to where it's like, okay, we have the jerseys and we've been running the locals. The next thing you know, there's 6 different teams and they're all cracked, dude. Yeah. I'm talking about like a whole nother level from us.
So what you're saying is, if you had to put it, it was a beginning arc, the training arc, and then the tournament arc.
Yes.
So
dude.
it gets better, right? Because Yu-Gi-Oh is a very big egotistical thing.
Yeah, I know.
Trust me, I know. You're aware. So this is the first cash tournament, and Pop.1, you got me, because at the time, my history is I'm an up-and-coming player, right? I'm starting to understand things. I'm starting to become pretty good at the game, going to more events, things of that nature. So I'm not really looked at as one of the best players in the area at this time. Michael Murphy, however, is looked at as one of the best players in the area at the time. And when we go to this first $1,000 cash tournament, it was so funny because I'm walking to the room and I'm staring at all these different teams with all their best players, and I am sick. I don't know if you remember this, but
it was
a
Michael Jordan flu game, dude.
It was insane. So I'm literally sitting there just round
with
one.
the COVID mask on and everything.
I had the mask on. My nose is tripping. My nose is
I remember
tripping.
he was always not going to come, and I said, "You get your ass down here."
So I'm there, and everyone's checking up on me like, "Hey, man, you good? You good?" I'm like, "I'm good. It's not COVID. I took the test. We're fine."
It probably was COVID.
It wasn't. I did actually take a test. And
Shame, man. Shame on you.
And I am beating everyone left and right. I think there were 6 rounds in Swiss. I went 5-1, and I made it all the way to the top 4.
Yeah,
it was insane.
I remember, dude. It was really cool seeing you guys show up, and because it was funny because I remember, and shout out Jonathan Fry, 1UP TCG. So Team 1UP came there. Great spread of players, man. Like these were all really good players.
Yeah, a bunch of YCS toppers and me being a jack. Because Murphy wasn't actually at this tournament. He couldn't make this.
I remember. I remember. So we had them show up. We had Team Pandemonium, cracked, like just crazy team. Yeah. Michael Bowie, just just a lot of players, dude. And there was another team. It was Team ETB or EBT or something like that.
Something like that.
And then there was a whole another team. Sorry guys, I forgot. I don't even think any
years.
of those.
We gotta look at these pictures and
remember. It was a while, but
because Pandemonium doesn't really have a Yu-Gi-Oh team anymore. I don't think anyone on there besides Jay. No one really plays anymore. But if they go to events, they still have the jerseys and they wear it, of course.
But that was like, so whenever we held it, I thought 20 people were gonna show up to this thing. You know what I mean? Like
60 plus.
I took this thing full fledged. This was my first I'm showing confidence, but I'm not confident in the result type of thing. But I'm like, okay, this is a shot. I'm gonna take it. Yeah, I'll run this tournament for you. I've never ran a tournament. I barely know how pairings work or anything at this time.
So you just finessed them, huh?
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. I was like, yeah, I can run this thing. I can get it going. Dude, I remember freaking out to Devin. I was like, all right, dude, if we're going to do this, I got to do it. But the thing about me is I'm a good team builder. So I had a guy running the tournament. I had a guy running the pairings, running the match slips, deck list checks, everything. Like I had brought all this equipment to stream out there and everything. I had somebody running the stream the whole time. We had feature matches. We had a booth set up. Like we had everything really going. I went all out on this. Like I told you guys to focus on the game. I don't want you guys to worry about none of this. Did not help me with anything, dude. And so whenever I go out there, I run this event, and it was like anything that had to do with ruling or anything, it was all brought to me. I don't know what's going on. So it's just one of those things that I just pulled it all out of my what and it worked. It literally worked. It was the biggest Yu-Gi-Oh tournament to that date. Yeah. That the Gulf Coast has ever seen.
And you know who beat it? You did in the future, but that's a different
story.
Story.
Nobody. Yeah, well, no, we got to go to. We got to continue on the shot to get to the juice of this story. Well, after that, we got really tight with the store. They ended up giving me some sort of small sponsorship where I could purchase items for a lower price, so I could open them on the Twitch stream and do all this kind of a little ecosystem type of thing, and got really cool there. And we ended up doing locals there for months and months after that. And then I decided to let's do another one of those tournaments. And this one was even bigger. It was huge. Two times the amount of people.
I think it broke 100.
Yeah, 2 times the amount of people. Small regional sized event.
Yeah,
cash tournament. Very sweaty competitive scene. Just a really all-out good time. I got stiffed a lot of money from that event. And I pretty much cut ties with that shop because of that. Because it wasn't just that shop. It was the fact that, and shout out to the original owners, they, to this day, I still have major respect for them. But they had brought on 3 other people to run the shop.
That. There was 6 owners.
Yeah, dude. By the time we did the second one, there were 6 owners, and they weren't.
They were doing way too much. One of your players, the host of the shop, I was walking in with my Starbucks, and they were like, "Dude, no outside drinks." And I'm like, "Are you serious?"
Yeah.
I'm literally Pop.1.
Yeah,
What
they
are we
didn't
doing?
care. Like, but they didn't like know. You know what I mean? They didn't know the work that we had put into this. We were the reason that locals was hitting 30 people.
Yeah.
We were the reason that the competitive scene was what it was. We were the reason that the movement for Yu-Gi-Oh at that shop was so big that I'm pretty sure it was paying the bills. Like, you know what I mean?
You know, I actually heard about prior to meeting you, Preston. Brian, Ty, and Peter, both were telling me, "Hey, you should like, you know, this is back when I was living in the North Shore area. They were like, you should come out. You know, like we have like 30 people, and like Brian was bragging to me. He was like, I win like every single weekend just about. Like, you know, I have so much
Well,
cred there, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I should you know, dust off my decks and come out and play. You know,
you would have had a great time.
I probably would have had a great time. I did come out one time, but this is after all that stuff happened.
Yeah, and it was dead.
Oh yeah, I walked in and I'm like, hey, where's all the Yu-Gi-Oh stuff? And they're like, oh, we don't do it no more. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. I just
Well, you
walked.
came pretty later on after everything happened.
Oh no, yeah, but this is when I was still living in North Shore. I think this is around 2023, 2024.
No, this was not 2024. This would have been 2022, 2023.
Yeah, I'm saying I came around. Like I visited for the first time in 2023 is what I'm saying.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
yeah.
you know, going back, speaking of Bryan Ha, yeah, they were doing good out there. And remember for the part 2, the 1K part 2, I wanted to sign more players to the team. And we had 3 players in mind. We had our boy Tyler, which ended up joining us for a while. Shout out to Tyler. Love that dude. Joseph and Bryan Ha. Well, I go in that morning. Mind you, my best friend, my childhood best friend, came in town for the event to come hang out with me that day, and we ended up staying up all night. I was like, I'm not playing, but I do got to run an event. Didn't know how it happened, but we ended up staying up all night, just reminiscing, whatever. I am like tired, exhausted, should have got some sleep, but I didn't situation. So I'm there, I got a Red Bull, you know, I'm chilling. And I'm just getting the event set up. Mind you, like I said, I know how to get a team together. I pretty much get it to where I'm like directing the event. You know what I mean? I got you doing this over here, you doing this, blah, 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 blah. And it ran good. One of the owners comes up to me and says, hey, man, before we get started, I want to let you know we signed some players today. We have a team now. And I'm like, okay, cool, man. You know, I'm just like, yeah, whatever, dude, you know. And he starts naming the people off. It's all 3 of the people that I'm getting ready to two of them.
Yeah.
My boy Tyler stuck it out and was like, I'm waiting to see a Pop.1 signing today, so I'll let you guys know, basically, because the rumor was going around that we're looking for players, and it didn't have to be local players. Like, we were going to look at everybody.
Yeah.
We were looking at Jay Watkins, but Pandemonium had picked him up literally that day too. So it was like the team thing was picking up, and Pop.1 was becoming a problem because Alex was locking in, Devin was locking in, we had Danny at the time, he was locking in.
Danny was our biggest sign, and which at the time, love you, Danny, but I was like, why are we signing?
Nah, dude, when I saw Danny and Danny came down here, he went to Vans. We had just met him. Like the week he started playing with us, he went to Vans that following weekend and won the whole region. Like got first
undefeated
place.
With the wildest deck. It's still the most viewed video on the channel.
Yes, 10K views on the channel, dude. Like of his, yeah. And I literally was like, hey, dude, I know that you're in the military and stuff. You might not be around for a little while, but if you want, I would like to give you a jersey to play for us. And, you know, we had a program where we were like throwing some bread and stuff and prizing and all that.
If we want, so we would go to different events, win events, and give you the product to sell and
throw it on stream so that local players could get prizing from these bigger tournaments that they weren't able to get. Yeah,
because we were good enough to farm a lot of these events.
Yeah, trophies,
boxes,
prize packs, boxes,
mats, everything, sleeves.
Almost air fryers. We were almost to the air fryer.
This was pre-air fryer.
Pre-air fryer.
But yeah, that is. Isn't it insane though that there was literally Turf War but Yu-Gi-Oh edition?
Now I will say that the reason I stopped going wasn't solely because of that. I was in the process. My wife was pregnant with our son, so I was really locked in at home.
Well, there were things that were starting to change. The 30-man locals starting to get less, and don't get me wrong, we were approaching tier format at the time, so the game was getting to that point where a lot of players just were enjoying it less, things of that nature.
Well, they were enjoying it. They just didn't want to drive out to Bay St. Louis.
Yeah,
for it, you know?
But the issue really became you had too many hands in the pot. You had too many owners with too many different opinions, things of that nature, and it really started to affect the culture of the
It
card
did.
shop.
So when Adam was born, we got everything locked in. You were still going to, but I was establishing a locals with Panda over at Panda's Paradise.
Well, that came, yeah, you were trying to do a different day at the time.
Yeah, that's what it was. We were trying to keep going because I didn't want to just say, F these guys, blah, blah, blah. Like, I still wanted to keep the locals going, but I was letting everybody know, look, I'm not going to be able to go out there every week. Like, I got a very new baby at home. It's just not going to work.
Yeah.
So I got to find somewhere closer if I'm going to keep doing this. And we set it up with Panda, and a lot of people try to set up locals and stuff with Panda and really try to get it going, but Panda runs the shop by himself, and sometimes it's a lot for him to handle. I could only imagine everything going through his head all the time. It's rough to get stuff going. You need somebody there helping him, and that's what I was for him to say, hey, do this, do this, do this. Once you do this, let me know. We can get this thing going, and he did. Shout out to Panda to this day for still holding it down for Yu-Gi-Oh! Here on the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Nobody else does it like him. Nobody else ever did it like him. Like, you know what I mean? I give Panda the most respect that I ever could, a shop owner, because at the end of the day, he does focus on the players.
Yes.
Sometimes he might not get everything, or he might miss an order, or blah, 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 and everything, but there's nothing that we can just say, dude, he is screwed up. There's nothing.
Yeah.
Like, he has literally done everything he could. And that was the difference between him and these other shops down here.
Yeah.
Whenever he got the new ownership, an instant decline from day one. And I hate to be so hard on it. And it is something that, because like we could really still be there to this day.
We could. They had a great thing.
It could have been even greater. I wouldn't know, because after the 1K part 2, I cut ties and I was just like, I'm doing my own thing.
Yeah.
You have a story on why you cut ties with them, because I was telling you for like a month, I was like, dude, I just can't do it no more, man.
There was a lot of things, whatever, right? A lot of drama, I guess you want to call it card shop drama, which is hilarious to me. But
it is. It's so funny, but it's a real thing.
Stuff like that, like I don't give a shit about. All I want to do is play Yu-Gi-Oh! Just like today, all I want to do is play One Piece, right?
Right.
All I want to do is run Pop.1. Like I follow my passions because that's what we do. It's a hobby, right?
Yeah.
I worked in Biloxi, live in New Orleans, so I drive home every day, and it was just more convenient for me to go to that shop.
The halfway point.
Yeah, the halfway point.
You would get off work, go to locals, go home.
So I would drive every day because I live in New Orleans, worked in Biloxi, and that was just a halfway point. It was just easier for me, right? To a lot of times locals starts at 7:30 at night. I want to go home at a good time to go to bed. It's easier to be at a shop closer to the house. When it's late at night, I can go ahead and head home. Well, things have started kind of changing in the culture. A lot of players stopped coming because they didn't like how things were being ran. Like I said, too many hands in the pot, too many opinions, too many rules being changed. Well, one day I show up there, and to put in perspective, I make my own schedule, right?
Yeah.
So when I work on Wednesdays, what I would do is I would make it to where I open, and I would open, work at my store, and pretty much get off around 4 or 5 in the afternoon. I would drive there, and oftentimes what I do is I would get lunch.
Yeah.
And locals normally start at 7, so I would show up really early, get lunch, sit in the store, and just chill until people get there, put a YouTube video on, whatever. Well, one day, after doing this for months, they just had this new manager, and he stops me.
Yeah.
I have Subway in hand and a Coke Zero.
Coke Zero.
And a Coke Zero.
Yeah.
And he stops me. He's like, you can't bring that in here. I was like, oh, I can't eat in here when we start doing that? He's like, no, not the food, the drink.
Okay.
I was like, the Coke Zero? He's like, yeah. I was like, I mean, y'all don't sell diet drinks. So something about me is I refuse to drink regular sodas. I only drink diet sodas.
Yeah.
And this shop genuinely did not have diet sodas. If they had diet sodas, I would have bought one from them. I didn't care. He's like, yeah, it cuts into our profits with you bringing in outside beverages into the store. So they don't give a shit about the food. They just care because they do sell snacks.
Yeah, they sell snacks and everything. Yeah.
They do just care about the drink specifically.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. And they didn't even sell diet drinks.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't buy a drink from them. So I'm walking out and I got a meatball sub.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking to myself, I do not want to sit in my car, spill a meatball on my shirt, and just have a stain. That's just the last thing I wanted to do. So I walk back in. I grab $1 in my pocket because I got $1 cash. I was like, if cutting to your profits is what you're worried about, here's $1. Can I just drink this in here?
Yeah.
And the dude laughs in my face.
Mind you, it was just you and him.
It's just me.
Yeah.
There's a couple other people in the store.
But
He's like sorting
yeah.
cards. Again, I do this every single week.
Yeah.
He laughs in my face and says, no, that still cuts into my profits.
And that and the thing and going in, I don't want to interrupt you, but people had already left. And Alex was one of the last ones. And it was hard to piss him off. You know what I mean? Like and when people heard that go into it.
So you're right. I'm not an easy person to piss off.
But I will say that about 10 people so far had stopped coming to the shop because of the new management.
We still
thing.
had 15 to 20. Don't get me wrong. There's still a lot of people going.
I think you were pretty down.
It was 12 to 15.
Yeah.
It was over 10. It was over double digits for
yeah.
sure. So I am sitting in my car, eating my Subway, and lo and behold, what happens? A meatball falls on my shirt.
Yep.
And I'm like, damn, this is exactly what I didn't want to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So
Why'd you get a meatball sub?
Because I was going to sit at a table.
Yeah, dude, he had a regimen. He had a routine.
I literally was going, and also I had cookies in that bag. I'm like, I don't care about the snacks. Like, what the
Yeah, dude.
So a meatball falls in my shirt, and I'm just so aggravated, and I just started getting my blood boil.
Yeah,
like unnaturally mad.
You were in our chat, like telling us about it.
I didn't even tell y'all that day. So on the type
really?
I let it fester.
Yeah.
I bottled this in, pun intended, and I just drove off. And I had like 3 people ask me where I was, and I said, I'm just not going tonight. And then next week happened. I didn't go, and they're like, hey man, you good? Because you're normally here every single week. And I said, I don't think I'm coming to fantasy anymore. And they asked me why. And that's when I let it out. Like, they told
the Coke
me,
Zero, dude.
They told me to kick rocks because of a Coke Zero. And no one in management or ownership reached out to me at all.
No.
And then,
well, why would they?
It's just the reason they had the numbers and the reason, because like even a lot of their locals wasn't playing Yu-Gi-Oh before we got there, because we're really good at getting people into card games. So it was just like we had like 10 of their Magic players playing Yu-Gi-Oh. We had like the R15 people coming to play Yu-Gi-Oh. We had people coming from Louisiana. And it was all a stem from Pop.1 podcast.
Yeah.
So I tell these guys, they told me I couldn't bring an outside drink in. And what really got to me was they were like, well, some of these other people brought their outside drinks, and they were posting pictures, and I saw people with obvious drinks that they weren't selling. I was like, I'm never going.
There was
back here
pictures of people with like drinks and stuff that they weren't selling. Like they literally attacked them in a sense. And you know what? They probably did it right in front of the big Pop.1 podcast poster that they had in the shop.
I think there was a Pop.1 podcast
like, you know what I mean? Like
one of those pictures.
And Alex was like the star of the show, like essentially. You know what I mean? Like you should have just been like,
I started boycotting.
Yeah.
I started boycotting, and I did it in the funniest way. Every time I would win an event in the area, K-turn, whatever, I grabbed a Coke Zero. It started off with just
I'm going to find these pictures and post them on the video.
It started with just a can, and I just posed smiling with a Coke Zero. And it got progressively more aggressive. I started getting like a 12-pack, a 24-pack.
The 24-pack was crazy, dude.
The funniest one, there's a picture where it's the top 4 at a case tournament in Slidell, and I'm holding like a 24-pack. Everyone around me is drinking a Coke Zero, and someone hands me like $1 bill.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's starting to get like real obvious. And meanwhile, everyone stops going to the shop. Like everyone stops going to the shop. Eventually, they get down to like 4 players. And Yu-Gi-Oh was their bread and butter. And one day, I'm at work, and the owners, they come in. And again, I have no qualms with the main owners, right?
Yes, but these were the new owners, right? They
came
in.
So the main owner, I'm not naming names, of course, but you know, I have no issues with them. Like, we're cool. I'm talking about like all the different things, right? And one day he comes in and he gives me a Coke Zero. He's like, hey man, we're sorry. And granted, this was like a month after at this point. Now me, I'm a very forgiving guy. I'm not trying to brag about that, but that's just my personality. So I do go back.
Yeah, I remember you telling me, and you were saying I accept their apology and everything, and I was just like, I'm already in this routine with Pandas, dude. I'm not driving out there on Wednesday anymore. Like, I'm just not doing it.
Right.
Like, you know, it's
so
just...
I go and I message like all these different Yu-Gi-Oh players to try to get them to come out. And I think I was able to get 2 to 3 to come out. And we had about an 8-man locals, which for them was fantastic because they were not having enough to run a locals at the time. But at that time in my personal playing career, playing Yu-Gi-Oh, I was probably close to my peak, right? I was very, very good at the game. I valued testing more than anything. And I'm not like a lot of people. I think local has a lot of benefits when it comes to testing. And going to that locals just wasn't a benefit.
Yeah.
The quality of player that was there was just so bad. All I was doing was teaching people how to play, which I love to do.
Yeah.
But when the player that
And
I'm
you're trying
teaching,
to lock in, you
no,
know,
not even that. When the player that I'm teaching isn't capable of, learning,
soaking it in. Yeah.
I'm just wasting my time at that point.
I
right?
feel you on that.
And then it got to the point where, I'm working in Biloxi. We had the shop in Gulfport. You had changed the locals to Wednesday, I guess, in protest or something.
It was just people wanted it, man. I was here for the people, dude. And
Yeah,
it was like nobody was going there. Everybody, the Wednesday day is just a day for card games,
Yeah,
bro.
it's just a day.
It's the middle of the week.
It's where we do our best with our lives.
Yeah, man. It's just and like so. Yes, we changed Pandas. Well, no, it was just Saturday at Pandas.
It was you start off on Thursday, and then people were like, "Hey, Thursdays are kind of rough."
Yeah,
and
and
then
then
it to Wednesday
changed
because
it to
Thursday was
Wednesday,
also
and then we
action.
had the Saturday. Yeah.
Thursday was action in Slidell, which was
So it was
the main
like
shop I went to.
And dude, we were hitting 20 to 25 at
You
Pandas.
were, and I was able to get a couple people to go to the shop, but eventually I got to the point where, man, I need to play with the competition because Pandas is a great shop, right?
Yeah.
They charge great prices. They have great price support. I just couldn't justify it anymore. Like, I understand the getting a home at a reasonable time. Like, I wish that shop could have maintained what they were having because I really did enjoy that shop. I have a lot of great memories going there.
I do too, man.
And I started going to Pandas because it just got fun because me and Devin started to get closer at the time, and we started going to the casino a lot. And he taught me basic strategy. We would go to the casino, set the blackjack tables, and the casino we would go to, they allow you to have the card out. So I kept asking him, I was like, "Yo, do I hit? Do I stand? Do I hit? Do I stand?"
I think all the casinos down here let you have the
Not the ones in Waveland.
Well, that's because it's Waveland.
Okay, so
I've never been.
So Waveland is
yeah.
St. Louis, for the record.
Yeah, I've only ever gambled around Biloxi, Gulfport.
So eventually the shop pivots to focusing more on Magic. I guess that's what more of the scene they were able to get. And it wasn't able to do it.
Well,
eventually.
they closed down the shop that we were playing. They opened another one.
Yeah.
You played there a few times, but I never went to the new one. And then they shut the doors.
Yeah, they shut the door. And I did the funniest thing.
You went there when the doors closed, and you gave a speech, and you poured a Coke Zero out on the front door.
We're gonna put that picture on this video.
Yeah,
what happened to takes a lot to piss you off, bro?
It does,
dude.
But it was.
He still
so
talks about
funny.
that Coke Zero because it's like at the end of the day, the dude didn't know who Alex was, I guess, and he just I can't like be that hard on him, but it's like, okay, dude. Let me buy this drink.
Though.
Yeah, let me
So
buy this drink that you're selling, and I'm just gonna drink my drink.
Yeah,
like you know what I mean. It's not that big of a deal.
I'm literally giving you $1, like the cost of a can of a drink, and I'm just take it, dude. Like let me just sit down, decompress from my work day, and prepare for these locals.
It was like the dude was so focused on like what you were consuming than what he was actually like arguing about. And it was just like,
he just
No,
wanted,
I get that.
he just wanted me. But the thing is, I'm not the type of person who wants special treatment. You're gonna treat me like everyone else. And if this is how you treated me, this is how you treat everyone else.
well, yeah, I do remember that because like we were like going to their Facebook because like we would look at the table and it would be like a whole bunch of stuff that they don't sell there, and it's like, yo, what's going on, dude? Like, why did they do that to him?
Yeah.
Whenever everybody else is still living the same thing going on.
Yeah.
It took way too long for it to really be.
Yeah.
Because it really became turf war.
But at the end of the day, it was like this all goes back to how me and Alex met and the story we have with the shop that really brought us to our peak and showed us that. I think that was kind of like the situation where it showed that we just got to stop like depending on people. You know what I mean?
And depending on games too. Because after this is where I really took off, like with my journey with card games and being a part of Pop.1. I would go to all these different events. I started filming some TikToks for you, or YouTube shorts. They were the front facing.
Well, it was so hard when we started the team to like say, "Hey guys, I need you guys to like play and like wear the jersey and stuff." But like you guys are going to go to events that it's impossible for me to go to. Why don't we try like getting some content at these events? And you guys were just not into it. Like, and I didn't blame you because it wasn't like
I was the
thing.
only one who would do it.
Yeah, you were like, I'll try, you know what I mean? But like, we got some good content, but not a lot to where it was just like, okay, like, you know what I mean? Like, it was the thing with Pop.1. It was like I had to focus on the stream, content, keeping you guys taken care of, everything like that. That it was burning me out, and it was just. I'm glad that's passed, and we found One Piece card game because I feel the most relaxed that I have felt in years. Stepping away from Yu-Gi-Oh, and that's a whole nother story.
Yeah, that's a whole nother story. Well, we were able to rebrand, we were able to refocus, and we were able to say, okay, this is what we're gonna do because we don't even live stream. Like obviously we're live.
We live on TikTok.
On TikTok, but we don't live stream on Twitch anymore. We don't do the Ripper shifts because that's kind of cringe if I'm being honest. We have a fantastic Bryan Ha, which is the missing piece we really need. And the 3-man pod is definitely the way to go. Yeah, and it was just beautiful.
And we'll touch more up on our backstories and stuff because we got so much to tell. We really do, man.
There's a lot of stories from when we were a physical team. Again, Turf War card game edition.
And then the ultimate story that a lot of people have been asking is about the Fat Cat story.
Yeah, because oh god.
And if people really want to hear that, we'll talk about it one day. It's just one of those things that's just. It's a lot, man. It is a lot, and
speaking of stories, if you're here at the end, we want to hear your story, right? Let's promote the email, right?
Yeah.
Pop the #1 podcast submissions at gmail.com. I want to hear any story you want to tell, and we'll tell it on this podcast, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll just talk about it.
Well,
it could be funny. It could be a tournament run. We don't care. Yeah. We want to hear from you.
We do want to hear from you guys, man. Yeah. It means a lot whenever people want to, share their experiences with us, just like we want to share ours with them. Yeah. And that's that. So the motivation today is if you have an idea, make it your idea and execute. You don't need everybody around you to help you. You know what I mean? If the idea is good enough, it's going to work out, right? Yeah. And you're going to have a million ideas, man, that just aren't going to work out. But that one idea that you did on your own, that you really focused on, it could be something big. But if you do bring people in, make sure it's the right ones.
Right.
Because they can mess it up.
My motivation is if you have a card game turf war, don't be a little bitch and stand on business.
Stand on business, right?
Stand on business. Money match the shit out of everyone.
Oh god.
Yeah.
Do some Ironmans. I remember one time we were at 1UP and we stayed up till 3 in the morning. This is a 3-hour drive doing a money match and got our asses handed to us, but it didn't matter because we had to stand on business.
Oh, that's pathetic, man. Dude, when I was doing tournament money matches with Louisiana, I never left empty-handed. Just let you know right now. That's disappointing to hear.
Well, that's Mississippi, to be fair. That's 1UP.
What's your motivation, Brian?
Come on.
So if you're not seeing the results that you want to see at locals, if you're going X1, X2, X3, let it be known that you are not your full potential yet, and you have so much more room to grow, and you can get there.
Yeah, find the best player in the room. Find somebody that's actually doing good at locals or doing the same level as you, and you guys work off each other. Yep. I think it's a good idea to communicate with your local player base and really try to make, because at the end of the day, that's y'all's house. And your locals, that's your house. What's it going to look like when you got people coming out of town and everybody's trash? Make them better. Everybody get good, dude. I'm telling you. It feels good.
Because Turf Wars Card Game Edition is real.
It does. All right, guys, if you're new here, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that hype button. We don't know what it does, but we're liking it, man. We appreciate it. Let's get to 400,000 hype points this episode. And go down below. Check out our sponsors, Dueling Guard. Go take advantage of the Black Friday deal. I mean, and then use our discount on top of it. Go ahead and get the new bomb collection from them if you like that Chainsaw Man.
Yeah. Raise Arc.
And make sure you check out Anchor Goods. 4 players by players. Protect your leaders in style. They just got some new awesome designs. Emu and Ace, perfect for the new meta. Definitely want to check them out.
I think it's good. New meta. We love it right now.
We love it.
I'm loving it. We're gonna see some results from our guys. I promise. We're gonna get it good. All right, guys. Good episode. We'll see you guys for episode 19. Peace.
See ya.